All right, that's fine. Let's go. Once again, good evening. Tonight, we move to the second topic, pricing decision. This topic, what are we trying to address with this topic? Or what does this topic try to address? Price theory. What we are trying to unravel is, how do companies determine the selling price of their products? If you want to buy a bottle of Coke, the price is probably like 500 naira now. Or if you want to buy a bottle of Pepsi, or Sprite, or 7-Up, the company must determine the price for their products. Or service. If you approach your tailor that you want the tailor to make you a design, the tailor must determine the price you are going to pay. Please, can you mute Gabriel? Same applies to service. For you to be in this class, equity professionals will determine the tuition fee. Maybe the price is 50,000 or 40,000 per paper. The company determines the fee. Now the question is, how do companies determine the selling price for their products? Same applies to individuals. If you apply for a job, the employer may ask you to state or to name your price. How much do you think we should pay you if we are to hire you for this job? As an individual, you are going to state your price. So the question is, how do companies determine the price for their products? If you look at the illustration we have given, we are going to appreciate the fact that pricing is a very sensitive decision. To determine the price of a product or service, this decision is very sensitive. Irrespective of the nature or size or complexity of an organization, the most important strategic decision facing senior management is to determine the appropriate selling price. It's a strategic decision making. This is because the selling price of a product is a primary determinant of the quantity demanded. The selling price will determine the quantity the customers will buy. Your pricing decision will affect your contribution as well as the volume of demand. If the price is too high, most customers may not buy the product. If the price is too high, the consumers may look for alternative products. That means the volume of sales will reduce. Again, if the price is too low, that could affect the profit of the company. Pricing decision is a very sensitive decision. This decision must be made and reviewed regularly. If you go to market today, you may buy a product for 1,000 naira today. The next day, the same products, the same market, the price is now 1,200 naira. What has happened between today and the next day? Pricing decision must be made and is constantly reviewed. The price of a product may not be static. For some products, the price or prices are not fixed, are not static. It changes regularly. The information we got today is that fuel price will increase by 100 naira. Dangote was selling for 739. As of today, there is a news going around that the price will become 839 naira. What has happened that will have informed increase in price? This is to tell us that pricing decision is a very delicate decision. Pricing policy can be used as a weapon to achieve or eliminate competition. You can use your price as a weapon to fight your competitors. If you want to eliminate your competitors in business, you can use your price to fight your competitors. For some reason, you may decide to reduce your price below cost because you are trying to destroy what? Competition. Dangote has done it before. There was a time Dangote brought down the price of cement. Like 2-3 years back, Dangote reduced the price of cement to 1,000 naira because Dangote was trying to destroy competitors. your pricing policy, a weapon to or to eliminate price is an element that creates revenue. That means your selling price will have impact on your revenue. Your revenue will have impact on your profits. What are the factors that can determine the appropriate selling price? What are these factors? Factors influencing prices. 1, long-term corporate objective of the organization. Number 1 factor that will affect prices is what is the corporate objective of that organization? Is the organization established to make profits or a not-for-profit organization? The corporate objective of an organization will have impact on the price of the products. Number 2, the nature of the company's products will also affect pricing. Is the product a luxury or a necessity? If your product is a necessity, that means for it is not a luxury. If today the electric companies increase their prices, we are still going to buy. No matter your inverter or your solar system or your generator, electric power is still better because that product is a necessity. We are going to demand it. But if the product is a luxury, then if you increase your price, we can do away with it. If that product is too expensive, no problem. It's not a must I use these products. So the nature of the company's products will have impact on pricing. Actual cost of production. At least you should be able to cover your cost of production, even if you are not making profits. If you look at government services, it is assumed that these services are provided at a subsidized rate. Government will try to cover its cost of production because government is not established to make profit. That is why public hospital to some extent will be cheaper. There are some services in public hospital that you can get at a cheaper rate compared to private hospital. Government will try to cover its cost of what? Production. Number 4, the degree of competition. If you operate in a market that is highly competitive, you can't increase your price anyhow. Like this market, ICAN tuition center market, we cannot increase the price anyhow because it's a competitive environment. Students can do price comparison. How much is equity charging? How much is other center charging? Help us roll over. Yes, I'm there now. What I'm discussing is here. What I'm discussing currently is here. If you are looking at your screen, let me expand this. What we are discussing currently, the degree of competition. So what I'm discussing is the page I'm using. Next, the elasticity of demand for your products. The elasticity of demand for the company's products will affect the pricing. Is the product elastic in nature or inelastic in nature? Is it a perfect elasticity or imperfect? All these variables will have impact on the price, the nature of the market. Are you operating in a monopoly market or oligopoly market? The nature of the market will also have impact on your pricing. All right. Our next discussion. How do companies determine selling price? What are the methods that can be used to determine the selling price of a product? Number 1 is what we call cost plus pricing method. The number 1 method used by most companies is the cost plus pricing models or method. This is the most widely used method of pricing a product. The cost plus method is the most widely used method of determining the price of a product. With this method, the cost of the product is estimated. Then, certain percentage markup will be added to the cost. When we say cost plus method, the company will determine or we estimate the cost of the product. Thereafter, the company will add a percentage markup to the cost. This percentage markup provides a reasonable level of profit. The estimated cost plus certain percentage markup added becomes the selling price of the product. The estimated cost of the product plus certain percentage markup added to the cost. That will now give us excuse me, please, the selling price of the product. So most companies use cost plus pricing method. Cost plus pricing method. We have three types of cost plus pricing method. We have three types of cost plus pricing method. Number one, we have full cost plus pricing method. Number one, full cost plus pricing method. This method is also referred to as absorption cost plus pricing method. This method is also referred to as the absorption cost plus pricing method. Under this method, together so as to of the products. Will be added. You are going to take the variable cost of the products. That will now give you the total cost is called full cost of the products. Thereafter, a percentage markup will be added to the total cost of the product so as to arrive at a selling price. Thereafter, a percentage markup will be added to the full cost of the products so as to arrive at the selling price. This is what we call full cost plus method. This method is used. This method can be used for planning purposes. You can use full cost to determine your selling price or to estimate your selling price for planning purposes. That is number one method. Number two method, marginal cost plus pricing method. Number two method, marginal cost plus pricing method. This method is also known as variable cost plus pricing method. This method is also known as the variable cost plus pricing method. As the name implies, this method only considers the variable cost of the product. This method only considered the variable cost of the product. All the variable costs will be added together so as to arrive at a marginal cost. Thereafter, a percentage markup will be added to the marginal cost of the product so as to arrive at the price of the product. Under this method, we don't consider fixed cost. For you to determine your selling price, under the marginal cost plus method, we ignore the fixed cost. This method is used for short-run decision making. The marginal cost plus pricing method is used for short-run decision making, such as a break-even point. You can use this for break-even points. What is the selling price that we require if we are to break even? Look at it. We are trying to determine a selling price at which our company will break even. That is, that selling price is meant for what? Decision making. Then you can use marginal cost plus. Or you can look at make or buy. Marginal cost plus will be used for make or buy decision. Under the marginal cost plus, we only consider the relevant cost of the product. And fixed cost is assumed to be irrelevant because it's fixed. Whether we produce or we don't produce, that cost will not change. The number 3 method, under the cost plus method, we have target return pricing method, or what we call return on investment pricing method. Return on investment pricing method. A target return on investment pricing method. This method can also be used to estimate the selling price of a product. Return on investment pricing method can be used to estimate the selling price of a product. Under this method, the total cost of the product will be determined. Under this method, the total cost of the product will be estimated. Thereafter, a target return on investment will be added to the total cost. Thereafter, a target return on investment will be added so as to arrive at the selling price. We can also use this method for planning. This method can also be used for planning purposes. Or we can also use it to meet a specific or a target return to the providers of capital. This method is used to estimate a selling price that will ensure that we meet a specific return to the investors. Any of these methods can be used to determine the selling price of a product. This is cost-plus method. Like we said, this method are the most widely used method when it comes to selling price of a product or service. These are the method that is mostly used. Next, we have pricing strategy. Our next discussion is pricing strategy or method also. This discussion, when we say pricing strategy, has to do with when a company is planning to introduce a new product the first time. You are planning to introduce a new product. You want to sell a new product. This is the first time this product will be coming to the market. The company must determine the pricing strategy to use to introduce that product to the market. The company must determine the pricing strategy to use in order to launch the product to the market. There are two major strategies mostly used by companies when launching a new product. There are two major strategies. Number one is market skimming pricing strategy. Market skimming pricing strategy. This involves charging higher prices when a product is first launched to the market. It involves charging higher prices when a product is first launched onto the market. And the company spends heavily on advertisements and sales promotion so as to obtain sales. Market scheme, charging high price when a product is newly introduced to the market. In order to obtain sales, the company will embark on aggressive advertisements. The objective of market scheming is to gain higher profits at the early stage of the product life cycle. The objective of market scheming. You are charging higher price for a product when the product is newly introduced. Your objective is to achieve higher profit at the early stage of the product life cycle. When a company introduces a new product to the market, when a new product is introduced to the market, and the product is unique in nature, when a company introduces a new product, and that product is unique in nature, some customers may be willing to buy that product at higher price. Because of the uniqueness. Some customers may be willing to pay higher price in order to obtain the products. And there is no rival product in the market. There is no alternative product in the market. In that situation, the company can scheme the market by charging higher prices. The few customers willing to buy, will pay higher price. Some will even struggle to pay higher price because they want to own the products. Market scheming will succeed if the product is unique and there is no rival products in the market. Like the case of, like Nigerian case, when GSM was first introduced to the Nigerian markets. 1999 / early 2000. That product was completely new in Nigerian markets. Before 99, we don't use GSM. Nigerians were eager to obtain phone and line at higher price. Excuse me, please. So you can use market scheming to introduce your new products. Number 2 strategy, market penetration. Market penetration pricing. Market penetration pricing strategy. This is an alternative pricing policy. It's an alternative pricing strategy to market scheming. When a new product is launched onto the market for the first time, market penetration involves charging low price, charging low selling price when a product is newly introduced to the market. You are charging a low selling price. When a product is first introduced to the market, a new product is first introduced to the market, the low price will enable the company to achieve higher sales volume. The low selling price will enable the company to penetrate the market and capture a lot of customers, many customers. The low selling price provides opportunity to achieve a higher market share. The objective of market penetration is to enable a company to create higher sales demand as quickly as possible. The objective of market penetration is to enable a company to create higher sales demand as quickly as possible. A successful market penetration enables the company to capture the market. With a successful market penetration pricing strategy, with a successful market penetration pricing strategy, the company can capture the market or might capture that market before competitors can introduce rival products. Before competitors can introduce rival products. Please note, market penetration pricing will succeed market penetration pricing strategy will succeed if the company can achieve cost leadership strategy. Market penetration strategy will succeed if the company can achieve cost leadership strategy. What is cost leadership strategy? What is the meaning of cost leadership market strategy? A strategy of trying to become the lowest producer of a product. Cost leadership. You can achieve production at the lowest cost. Then you can afford to charge a low selling price. If you are able to achieve production at a reduced cost, then you can reduce your selling price. If you reduce your selling price, many customers will be willing to patronize your products. You can achieve higher sales volume. To achieve low-cost production, you might consider large-scale production. If you look at China, why China product is cheaper? If you look at Chinese products, why is it cheaper? Because they are going to go into large-scale production, a mass production. Because the fixed cost is fixed, The more you produce, as you are producing more, your fixed cost will not change. Only the variable cost will change. Total variable cost. So if you are able to achieve mass production, cost per unit will fall. If your cost per unit falls, you can achieve a low selling price. So you can use market penetration. Like the case of Techno phone in Nigerian markets. When Techno phone got to Nigerian markets, they are aware that in Nigerian markets, phones are already in existence. We have Samsung. They are aware. We have other phones. But Techno was trying to penetrate Nigerian markets, Nigerian telecommunication markets. The first thing Techno did was to reduce the price of their products. Then Android phone was sold. Techno phone was one of the cheapest then. And before you know it, Nigerians were now moving to buy cheaper phone. They were gaining the markets. They were building volumes. Gradually, Techno now start increasing its price. That is the concept of market penetration. You are bringing a new product to a market, and you want to penetrate that market because other products exist in that market. That was the concept of Techno. The same applies to cowbell, Promasidor, cowbell milk. To penetrate Nigerian market, Nigerian milk markets, cowbell has to think out of the box. If you look at Nigerian milk markets, it was dominated by pig milk. Before, the Nigerian milk market was dominated by pig milk. To break this dominance, cowbell introduced sachet milk. To break this dominance of pig milk in the market, cowbell introduced sachet milk. That was strange in Nigeria. We are used to liquid milk, thin milk. So cowbell launched sachet milk at a very reduced price, ridiculously cheap. While you are buying one tin of milk for 100 naira, a sachet milk is 10 naira. And it is convenient. You can just buy one, give it to this school, to a child, take tea and you go to school. Before you know it, Nigerians were moving, saying, why should I buy 100 naira milk? Let me just buy 2 sachets of cowbell. I'm fine. I'll take my tea and go. Before you know it, cowbell captured the markets or penetrated their markets. Other meat companies were forced to go into what? Sachet meat. Right? We had enough. So it's about pricing. We had enough of discussion. Any question? We have spent about an hour discussing. Any question? Clarification? Yes, George.
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now.
Thank you so much, sir. I don't know. Maybe it falls under this topic. Optimal, is it optimal production? Where is it optimal production? Okay, let me not ask that one. So I want to ask that this thing, one of my friends used to talk about it. And is it BCG model that he was talking about cash cow and all the star dog and the like. I want to ask, does it fall under this topic? And how can we relate it to market scheming, market penetration, and cost leadership, sir? Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me take Joseph. I will take Joseph, your comment question. I will come back to Joseph. I'll answer the thing together. Let me take Joseph, your comment.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, sir. Sir, my question is among the market, the pricing strategy we just discussed is the best to be used by an organization.
Okay, which one is the best to be adopted by a business?
Yes,
that's
sir.
your question, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Okay. You can mute. Let's see. Let's take this. So the first question from Josh. Although he was trying to ask me operating statements, then cash cow. First, to the cash cow, we have a topic we call strategic performance measurements. Under it, you have issues like the cash cow model, yeah, the Bosca model, the Bosca model. We have the, what's it called? We have different models there. We have different models for performance measurements. These models are for performance measurements. Then I also need to say that all these topics are also related. Don't forget, it's actually PM. I've mentioned strategy here, pricing strategy. When we also get to strategic performance measurements, we are still going to see them because it's about performance measurements. Your ability to penetrate the market will have impact on your performance. So the topics as a way of crossing their self. So that is that about Josh. So the focus of this topic, pricing, how do we determine selling price? That is the focus of this topic. By the time you get to strategic performance measurements, some of our discussion here, we still reflect there. Because your pricing also have impact on your performance. So that is that about Josh. Then, of course, you have said we should leave operating statement. But let me also quickly chip it in. It's a topic that explains how to determine your profits, your operating statements. Your operating statement is a statement of performance, profit performance. So that is a single operating statement. Then if I come back to Joseph's question, which of this method is best to use? No one is actually best or bad. It's a function of what the company wants to achieve at that point in time. No method is good or bad. It's a function of what the company plans to achieve at that point in time. Let's look at the case of Dangote. Sometime last year, Dangote brought down the fuel of the price of fuel to 739. Dangote is becoming a force to reckon with in the oil sector. It brought down the price of fuel to 739 naira. What was the intention? That price, the company is not making profit. But the intention was because Dangote said we have excess production of fuel. And to sell this excess, we need to bring down our price. As soon as Dangote brought down its price, people, Nigerians, they want to buy fuel from where? Dangote MRS. If you go to any filling station, MRS, the queue will be long. For that singular reason, other fuel companies were forced to also reduce their price. The intention then was to achieve volume. Dangote said we have excess production and we need to sell this product. So let's reduce our price. As of today, Dangote said, I'm going to increase by 100 naira. So, in summary, companies will use all the methods at different times. Companies will use different types of methods at different times, depending on what the company is planning to achieve. Is that fine, please?
Yes, sir. Okay.
All right. Let us take question first, related to what we have discussed. Oh, please refer to page 75. Precisely page 74. Illustration 6. Please, if you have your study pack, which I believe you should have anyway, refer to page 74 of the study pack. Let us look at question number 6. Question 6, page 74. All right. I'm assuming that we have opened the page. I'm assuming that we have opened the page. All right, Josh. I will read. Third part, Nigerian Limited, produces various type of packaging products for the food industry. Third part has just introduced a new type of pack, and its marketing manager is considering how to penetrate the market with the pack. The following pricing strategies have been suggested: market skimming pricing, market penetration price, full cost plus price, return on investment price, marginal cost plus price. Next, the management accountant has provided the following data about the pack. Let's look at the data. The following data about the pack. 1, non-current asset needed for the production of the pack, 2 million. Working capital requirements estimated at 400,000. Estimated annual sales volume 40,000 units. Variable production costs are 16 naira per unit. Fixed production cost will be 300,000 naira each year, and annual non-production cost will be 100,000 naira. The markup for the pack will be as follows: if full cost plus, use 25%. If marginal cost plus, use 40%. Target return on investment of 10% per year. Requirements A. Discuss the above pricing method and advised when each could be used. Look at requirements A. Discuss the above pricing method and tell us when can we use each of these methods. So what is market skimming? What is market skimming pricing? This question was texted for 15 marks. ICAN texted question. What is market skimming price? When can we use market skimming? Any opinion?
Yes, we can use market skimming pricing when a company wants to
Use.
get.
Speaking.
Can you hear me?
Alabi, yeah, Alabi, fine. Are you there, Alabi? I can't hear you.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you now.
Okay, sir. I said market skimming pricing strategy. This involves charging higher price when a product is first charged to the market and the company spends more on advertisement, like you said earlier on. And then the major use or the objective of the market skimming strategy is to achieve bigger or higher profit at the product maybe first launching to the market. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. When can we use market skimming? Yes, Joseph.
For luxury products.
Okay. Ofide. We can use market skimming if you are talking of
Hello?
luxury products.
Hello.
Yes, Kayode, you are on.
Okay, yeah, we can use market scheming when it is unique and there is no rivalry market in the market.
Oh, that's great. You can use market skimming when your product is unique. A product that is unique without a rival product in the market. Please let us choose our explanation carefully. There are certain things the examiner expects you to write. Alabi has tried. He said, we look at market skimming. It involves charging higher price. When a product is first introduced to the market, the aim is to achieve higher profits at the early stage. The company spends heavily on advertisements, and market skimming will succeed if your product is unique without a rival product in the market. So please note, it is not about luxury. All right, thank you. Market penetration. What is market penetration? When can we use market penetration pricing for our products? Any opinion?
Market penetration involves introducing products into the market with lower prices so as to gain a higher market share.
Great. Great. So you have answered it, but you need to complete it. Market penetration involves charging low prices so as to gain higher market shares. So that is very correct. When can we use market penetration?
So, in addition to what the first speaker has said,
Yeah, hello. What said? Yeah.
Market penetration is used, one, to gain market share, and then have a control of the price leadership.
Have a control of
price cost leadership.
You need to put it well. You have mentioned cost leadership. That is what I'm looking for. But you now need to put it well now. So, hello.
Yeah.
You are not going to add that market penetration will succeed if the company can achieve low leadership strategy. Market penetration can be used if the company can achieve cost leadership strategy. Market penetration can be used if the company can achieve a cost leadership strategy. What is cost leadership strategy? The strategy of trying to become the lowest producer of the product in the market. You can only talk of market penetration if you can achieve production at a low rate, a low cost. Is that better, please?
Yes, sir.
All right. Number 3, examiner say explain full cost plus pricing. So what is full cost plus?
The determination of selling price with the total cost of a product and an additional markup percentage.
Okay. Determination of selling price of a product with the total cost of that product plus an additional percentage markup so as to achieve the selling price. That's great. Number 4, return on investment pricing. Let me hear from the students. What is return on investment pricing method?
Return on investment pricing method is used to estimate the selling price of a product. Under this method, a total cost of product will be estimated. Therefore, to target the return on investment, we also there will be a added selling price to there will be a added markup to arrive at the selling price. It is also used for planning purposes.
Okay, that's at least I overheard the fact that we use this for planning. Under this method, we are going to determine total cost of the product. Thereafter, a percentage. Okay, who is speaking now?
Sorry, this guy or this, I just wanted to add to what she said.
All right, let me keep quiet then.
Okay, aside from it's used for planning, it also meets special return for the providers of capital.
Okay, yeah, it can also be used to meet a specific target return to the providers of capital. That's good. That's fine. All right. Please, what am I the last diet? Last diet. All things being equal, we are going to solve last diet question here. Last diet question 7. It was. Then lastly, what is marginal cost plus pricing method? So yeah, let's round up. What is marginal cost plus pricing? Oh yeah, let's round that up.
Marginal cost
What is marginal cost? Oh yeah, hello. Oh yeah, speak. Hello.
involves using the determination of selling price with using the variable costs, total variable cost of the product, and a markup percentage of the total cost of the total variable cost.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Hello,
You
sir.
pick your total variable. Okay, carry.
Just to add to what she said, marginal cost, with what you said it is also known as a variable plus pricing method, which considers the variable cost of the product and adds a certain percentage of markup, and then it is used for short-run decision making, such as
The,
break-even point. And you said only relevant costs are considered, and then you said something like fixed costs is not considered or it's ignored.
this guy, you follow the class. This guy followed what I'm saying. That's good. So that's good. If you look at that question, that part A, examiner awarded 10 marks to part A. The part B is just for 5 marks. So your explanation in A will give you 10 marks out of 15 marks. Now let's go to the B part of the question. Examiner says, calculate what the price of the pack should be if its price is based on full cost plus. Yeah. What is going to be the price of this pack? Look at it. Calculation of selling price per pack. Using 1, full cost plus pricing. That means I will go to that. I need to pick the variable cost and the fees cost. Now come here, Naira. Let's go back to the question. Variable production cost per unit, 60 Naira. I'll pick that. Variable production cost, 60. I'll now go and pick my fixed cost per unit. Let's go to this. Examiner says fixed production cost will be 300,000 each year. That is for the whole year. Annual non-production cost, annual also for the year, will be 100,000. Expected annual sales volume, 40,000 units. I can return you. Let's do small work here. Total fees cost. We have fixed production cost, 300,000. Non-production cost, 100,000. Therefore, total fixed cost. Total fixed cost. 400,000. Now, what is fixed cost per unit? We are going to produce how many units? Expected annual sales volume, 40,000. Come back here. Volume of production / sales, 40,000 units. In bracket, units. So what is fixed cost per unit? Fixed cost per unit is equal to 400,000 divided by 40,000. What do we have? 10 naira. You now return here. Fixed cost per unit, 10 naira. Your full cost per unit, 79. That is total cost. Your full cost is also called total cost. You have gotten full cost. Then mark up. Let's look at the question. Examiner says if full cost plus price is used, 25% mark up. Return here. 25% markup. Please compute 25% of 70 naira. What do we have?
$17.5.
17.5.
17.5.
Therefore, our selling price, add the two together, 87.5. Selling price per pack is 87.5, 87 naira 50 kobo. If you use full cost plus, the selling price is 87 naira 50 kobo per pack. Next, marginal cost plus. Method 2. Marginal cost plus price. Under this method, we are only going to pick the variable cost. Variable production variable production cost per unit, 60 naira. Then markup. What is the markup for marginal cost plus? If marginal cost plus price, use 40%. Your markup is 40%. Come here, 40%. Please compute 40% of 60 naira. What do you have?
24.
Therefore, your selling price. If you are looking at marginal cost plus, the company will sell a pack for 84 naira. Is that better, please? return on investment price. Under this method, you are going to pick the total cost first. The total cost per unit. Look at it. We have calculated before. Don't waste your time. Total cost per unit. That is the full cost per unit. 70 naira. Pick it. Now, percentage return on investment. Let's look at it. Examiner says at target return on investment of 10% per annum. We have to calculate this. What is the total investment? First, get your total investment. Non-current asset needed, investment. That means we have to invest in non-current asset, 2 million. Working capital requirement investment, 400,000. Return here. Working 2. Investments. Non-assets. Investments in non-current assets, 2 million naira. Working capital investments. Investments, 400,000. Total investments, million. We now come to target return on investments. Examiner says what? 10%. 10% per annum. So you come here, 10% of total investment. That will give us 40,000. That is the target return on investment per year. That is the target return on investment per year. This is annual on investments. But I need to get return on investment per unit. This is 240,000. But I require investment per unit. Volume of sales 40,000. Therefore, return on investment per unit is equal to 240,000 divided by 40,000. That becomes 6 naira. You can return it. That means, look at it, target return per unit 6. Therefore, 7.6. Therefore, selling price per pack. You are done with that question. You are done with that question. We have estimated all the required. Any question, please? Okay. If there's no question, please look at what we have done. Pricing is one of the topics that you can easily relate with. Pricing as a topic is an area we can relate with. All right, if there's no question, let us take one more question. Look at illustration 4, page 73. Illustration 4, page 73. Please confirm we are there. Just 1 minute.
Which meaning again na which cup? No be miracle wey I give the water. We never I give her water to drink.
Are we good to go, please? I think we are good to go. Please, can we confirm we're there? Yeah.
Yes, sir. We with you, sir.
Okay. Let's run through this question. AMA is a large garden equipment supplier with retail store throughout the country. Many of the products it says are bought in from outside suppliers, but some are correctly manufactured by AMA's own manufacturing division. Look at that paragraph 1. We have AMA. Examiner say AMA is a large garden equipment supplier with retail store throughout the country. Many of the products it says are bought in from outside suppliers, but some are correctly manufactured by AMA's own manufacturing division. Mail. From that paragraph 1, it tells me that this company has 2 divisions, AMA division and Mail division. The prices in bracket a transfer price that Mail charges to the retail store are set by head office. And has been the subject of discussion. The prices that Mail charges to the retail store are set by our head office. And this has been a subject of discussion. The current policy is for Mail to calculate the total variable cost of production. The current policy is for Mail to calculate the total variable production cost of the product. Variable product cost and to calculate the total variable cost of production and delivery, and add 30% for profit. May argues that all costs should be taken into consideration offering to reduce markup on cost to 10%. In this case, the retail store are happy with the current pricing policy. arguing that it results in prices that are often higher than comparable products available in the market. They has provided the following information made of the two possible pricing policies for one of these products. If you look at that paragraph 2, we are able to discover that the current pricing policy is variable cost plus pricing policy. The current pricing policy that the company uses is variable cost plus pricing method, whereby 30% is added. Now, when you say no, let us change this, that we should consider all costs, not only variable costs. All right, next product. Garden shares. The product is garden shares. Garden shares, we now have steel, the material required for production. Look at it. The example says the shares have 0.4 kg of the manufacturing process losses of 5% of all steel put in. Steel cost 400,000 per ton. 1 ton is equal to 1,000 kilograms. You might need to explain this. To produce a garden shed, we require 0.4 kg of high quality steel in the final product. However, we have manufacturing process losses of 5%. That means if I go to market to buy the raw material for steel, I cannot buy 0.4 kg. I'm aware that what I require for usage is 0.4 kg, but we have expected process loss. Then if I'm going to buy both material required for actual usage as well as the expected process loss. Next, other materials are bought in and have a price list of 300 naira per kg. For other material, the price is 300 naira per kg. AMA secured a 10% volume discount. That means if I'm going to buy at less than 10%. The shares require 0.1 kg of this material. The labor time to produce shares is 0.5 hours, 0.25 hours per unit. Labor cost per unit, this will be wrong. This should be labor cost per hour. Labor cost per hour that should be hour, not units. Labor cost per hour is 1,000. Variable overhead are absorbed at the rate of 150% of labor rates. And the fixed overhead are 80% of variable overheads. Delivery is made by an outsourced distributor that charges 50 naira per garden shares for delivery. Requirements A. Calculate the price that Nail will charge for the garden spare or garden shares under the existing policy of variable cost plus 30%. Let us deal with requirement A. Price per garden share using variable cost plus method. Look at it. Requirements A. Calculation of price for garden share using variable cost plus pricing method. Like we explained, you are going to pick all the variable costs. Material, steel, material. We have steel. Like we try to explain, we need to have 5% to 0.4 kg. That is the expected process flow. To do this, that means if I purchase 100%, I'm going to purchase 100%. And I expect 5% to be process loss. What that means is that what I'm going to use for my actual production is 95%. I'm going to purchase 100% of material. 5% of this material will be process loss. That means only 95% is used for actual production. What that means is that this 0.4 kg is 95%. This 0.4 kg, if you come here, you have to do small work in here. Okay, let me go down small. Zero 0.4 kg equal 95%. What is 100%? 100% is equal to 100 over 95 multiplied by 0.4 kg. Work this out. You are going to get 100%. If you work this out, you are going to get 100%. 0.4 you are going to get 0.421. 4212, something like that. If you work this out, 0.421 approximately, maybe, okay, 4212, 4211. You are going to get 0.4211. That is the number of kg we are going to purchase. When we purchase this, 0.5 will be process loss. The balance will now be used for actual production. So we are going to get 0.4211 kg. What is the price per kg? Examiner says steel costs 400,000 per tons, and 1 ton is equal to 1,000 kg. If you are to work this out, let's try to work this also. Examiner knows that the question is very simple. The only thing is to just put small, is to add little thing to make it a bit tougher or a bit tough. Examiner says steel cost 400,000 per ton. 1 ton equals 1,000 kg. Therefore, cost per kg is equal to 400,000 divided by 1,000. This will give you 400 naira per kg. Therefore, cost per kg 400 naira per kg. Per kg. You can return to your solution. Multiply by 400 naira. Please multiply. 0.4211 multiplied by 400,000. $168.44. I have 168.44. Next, other materials. Other materials. Examiner says, other materials are bought in and have a list price of 300 naira per kg. The price list, the price on the list is 300 naira. Although AMA secures 10% volume discount. That means we are going to enjoy discount of 10% on all purchases. The shares require 0.1 kg of this material. Can return here. Other material 0.1 kg multiplied by price per kg. Now come in. Other material cost per kg. Other material cost per kg is equal to, I have 300 naira less discounts 10%. 10%, that is 30 naira. Therefore, 270. The return here. 270. 0.1 multiplied by 270. 27.00. You are trying to pick all the variable costs. Next, your labor cost. To produce a garden spade, we require 0.25 hours. What is the labor cost per hour? 1,000. Please multiply. 0.25 multiplied by 1,000 naira. That should give us 250. Next, your variable overhead. Examiner says variable overheads are absorbed at the rate of 150% of labor rates. The time will not change. This is C 0.25 hours. 150% of labor rate. Labor rate is 1,000 naira per hour. Please compute 150% of 1,000. Hello.
1,500.
That will give us 1,500. Then multiply.
Three seven five.
375.00. Then we need to pick delivery cost. Delivery cost per is there. Examiner says for the question, he said currently, look at it. Currently, the policy is calculate total variable cost of production and delivery. The current policy is for nail to calculate the total variable cost of production and what delivery. Then add 30% to it. Examiner says delivery is made by an outsourced distributor that charges nail 50 naira per garden spare, garden share deliver. We'll add 50 naira to this. This will give us our total variable cost of production and delivery. Please sum up. Please sum up.
We have 870.44.
87.4.
870.44. You have gotten total variable cost of production and delivery. Now, to get our selling price, we are going to add a markup of 30%. Please compute. What do we have? Let me do it fast now.
261. 261.13.
261.
261.132.
261.13. Okay, we can ignore 2. Now sum up these two. That will give you the selling price. The selling price now.
1,131.57.
Thank you. 1131.57. This is the selling price based on variable cost plus method.
The selling price is not correct. It's 1086.57.
108. Are you sure? Please check again.
Yes, it's correct. 1086.57.
No. This will happen. There's an error here.
Yes, sir, it's the approximation that caused the error.
30%. Is it 30% that is wrong? 261.13.
261.13. You can solve now. Plus 80.4. Yeah, it's correct now.
Yeah, it's 1131.57.
And it's correct now. This is the selling price per garden spare based on variable cost plus. We have answer requirement A. Look at requirement B. Calculate the increase or decrease in price. calculate the increase or decrease in price if the pricing policy is switched to total cost plus 10%. That means for me to know if there's increase or decrease, I'll need to calculate the selling price using total cost plus method. I can now compare the two selling prices to know if there is increase or decrease in my selling price. And we have to calculate the selling price now using total cost plus. I can now compare the two selling prices. That will now tell me whether the price increase or the price decrease. Let's go back to this. No space again, sir. We have to create new. We have to create new. We got to create space. No. We have like 20 minutes. But it's good we address two questions. Okay, let's go to it. The B part of the question. This is B. Selling price for garden spare using total cost plus 10%. In this case, I'm going to pick my variable cost first. Variable cost of production and delivery equal 807.44. I'll pick down first. Easier now. I will now add to it. What is the fixed overhead? The fixed overhead are 80% of variable overhead. My variable overhead is 375. Please compute 80% of 375. Fixed overhead is equal to 80% of 375. What do you have, please? Oh, yeah.
100.
300. Therefore, total cost is equal to 1170.44. This is total cost per garden share. Now mark up 10%. Please compute 10%. That will give me what? 117.4. Abi?
Yes, sir.
You cannot add to it. No, 117.0.
0.04.
0.044. 110.044.
0.044. Therefore, selling price is 1287.484. This is the selling price if we use total cost plus. Now let's compare the two. Is there increase or decrease in price? I think we have increase in price.
Yes, sir. There is increase in price.
Yeah, there's increase in price. Look at it. We have increase in price. We have total cost plus price 1287.484. Variable cost plus price 1131.57. The difference in prices, please.
$155.914.
Yeah. 155.914. That is the increase in price. If you switch from variable cost plus to full cost plus, then the selling price will increase by 155 naira. That is requirement B. Let's look at C and D. This one are just notes. Discuss whether or not. Any question, please, before I go to this? Okay. Oh. Yes, any question? All right, let's round. If there's no question, let's round up. Discuss whether or not including fixed cost in a transfer price is a sensible policy. Let me try to explain this requirement C. You know, when we say transfer price, it's a topic on its own. We have not got into that topic. When one division is selling goods to another division within the same company, when you say transfer price, division A is selling a product to division B. Both divisions belong to the same organization. The price at which division A sells to division B is what we call transfer pricing. Now the question now is, discuss whether including fixed cost in the transfer price is a sensible policy. If you look at the first policy, head office says, if you want to transfer, May division will transfer garden spare to Ama division. Head office says transfer at variable cost plus. Don't include your fixed cost. Now, Ama is saying, please, let me include my fixed cost. That I want to include all the costs. Now, examiner is now asking us, will it be sensible to include transfer price, to include fixed cost in a transfer price? Is it reasonable to include transfer price, to include fixed cost in a transfer price? We can look at it from two angles. As a manufacturer of the products, if I include my fixed cost in the transfer price, I will have the advantage to cover all my costs. As a manufacturer of the product now, May division is the manufacturer of the product. May division will be happy to include its fixed cost in the transfer price because this allows May division to cover all its costs and guarantee profit for the division. In essence, the manufacturing division will be able to reduce its risk of loss. However, accounting for fixed costs can be very notorious. Including fixed costs in transfer price is subject to manipulations of overhead treatment. What does this mean? That fixed cost has been incurred. Whether we produce garden share or we don't produce garden share, that division has incurred that fixed cost. In other words, fixed cost is not relevant to decision making. As a company as a whole, including fixed cost in transfer price, may create problem of decision making. We call it, this can lead to poor decision making. Because that fixed cost is an unavoidable cost, which is not relevant to decision making. That will lead to what we call suboptimality. When calculating transfer price, we should only include relevant cost, not fixed cost. That is from the company's perspective. Anyway, when we get to the topic proper, we shall explain more. Then the deep part of the question. Discuss whether the retail store should be allowed to buy from outside supplier if the prices are cheaper than those charged by name. Another question to us. The question is, Nay division want to charge a price of 1,287. Nay division want to sell for 1,287.48. Now the question is, if the retail store can buy from outside supplier at a price below this 1,287, should they buy from outside or should they buy from Nay division? That question is not easy to answer. Look at it here. Degree of autonomy allowed to the store in buying policy. If the stores are allowed too much freedom in buying policy, AMA could lose control of its business. Brands could be damaged. If you are buying this product from outside, product that we can manufacture ourselves, you are now buying from another supplier. We might lose control of the business. Our brand name could be damaged if each store bought different supplier share. You are buying share for different supplier because it's cheaper. That could have impact on our brand. On the other hand, flexibility is increased and profit could be made for the business. If you allow us to buy from outside, that gives room for flexibility. That can increase our profits. The store manager exploiting locally found bargains. But there's element of risk. If you are buying from local manufacturers, what our division can produce, that could impact on our reputation. If you are buying from other suppliers, that means our employees at their division will be rendered redundant. So it's not a very easy decision to make. We are not even sure of the quality of the garden shares purchased from other suppliers. Please, let's go through this. We have tried today. We come to the end of this class. Any question? Clarifications?
No questions, sir.
So it's good night.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Good night.
Let's try to look at our material and our study pack. Gradually, we are moving. We are done with the first topic. By God's grace, next week we shall be through with this topic. Then we are moving to next topic. Gradually is going. Please don't accumulate your notes. You can look at the video as many times as possible as you can. And please let us review related questions. May God give us a better understanding. Good night.